Good early afternoon to you. Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com here. I'm in South Carolina at a rest stop, pit stop, whatever you want to call it. But let's take a look at what's going on here with the tropical system. You see my reflection there. Hey, everybody. This is still a tropical depression. Hard to believe that, but it is. A couple of things I want to point out to you on the satellite animation here. Notice that there's some banding coming around right there on the east side, and you also see this sort of feathering of the clouds through here. Maybe more signs of outflow developing, and overall the system is trying to turn, more counterclockwise rotation in there, and that could signify that this is finally starting to get its act together and be more of, what we expect is a tropical storm and not this lingering depression. Again, that area of banding coming around the side, that might be an indication that things are starting to change with this system. As it stands, it's still a depression. This is the forecast from 11 o'clock this morning. I expect that this is going to shift a little bit more to the west with time, and I'll show you why. This is the new GFS, which is starting to come out right now. This is 24 hours from today, so this is valid Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Here it is in the 850 vorticity field. Pretty healthy looking overall, as you can see, headed towards the Florida Panhandle. If we go through the frames here, that's 24 hours. So let's go to 48 hours, all right? Doing this as best I can here on the road. So at 48 hours, there's the landfall area just inland west of Appalachia Bay. North and west of Appalachia Bay. The 850 millibar signature looks very healthy, and the surface map showed 992 millibars. And so you might think, well, okay, that could be getting pretty close to hurricane intensity. So you folks up here along the Florida Panhandle, the central Panhandle to the areas west of Appalachia Bay, St. Mark's, in that vicinity, you need to be watching this very closely. Hopefully you don't need me to tell you that. But this looks very serious for that area. And then if we go out into time a little farther, or further, whichever it is, look what happens here at hour 72. Coming into North Carolina, roughly centered over Fayetteville, Sanford area, southwest of Raleigh, not coming out over the coast over this way any longer, but instead staying inland over North Carolina. That's a pretty significant change. In fact, if we go to the 96-hour mark, look at that. It's off the map up here on this particular region. It's sitting up over Maryland, for goodness sakes, not back out over the water. So the potential for a stormy weekend ahead with what should eventually be Tropical Storm Hermine down here in the Gulf of Mexico. I think the big story here is that it's probably going to be shifting more to the west, and you folks up here in the Appalachia Bay area really need to pay attention to this. And then the storm surge risk over here along the Big Bend area, not diminishing, especially if this is going to intensify. And you can tell it's starting to take up a pretty good deal of the Gulf of Mexico, and so the circulation is pretty stout in terms of its size, and all of that needs to be taken into consideration. All right, well, that's it for now. I'm Mark Sudduth on the road for HurricaneTrack.com. I'll have a lot more of these video posts for you along my journey.